gonna start streaming. Folks, is it Monday already? Doggone it. Time keeps on slipping into the doggone future. Time keeps on slipping. I'm going to share this with some folk. I am sharing this. Sharing it over here. Here we go. That's that. It was kind of interesting. Every now and again, I see a comment or two that I find very, very humorous. And one guy must have just stumbled across what we were doing, and the first part of this video, I'm always sharing the video. He's like, "Get off your phone and play." You must be new around here. Okay. Get off your phone and play! Okay. All right. I'm going to get right to it as soon as I've shared it. See, the more I share it with people, the more opportunity there is for people to be annoyed by me being on the phone. And that's something I cherish. Can you dig it? That's something I cherish. Annoying human beings. It's something I cherish. No, that's not true. All right, folks, we got the acoustic in the house, and this is my old Martin, because everyone, a lot of times they ask. They say, "What is that guitar?" This is a guitar I bought in 1996, I believe, if memory serves me, maybe 95. It is a Custom 15 by Martin, which in today's parlance would be a HD 28V, but that's before they had reissued the D28 in this fashion. So, and I have the Fishman Rare Earth mic blend pickup in the house, and I'm going through the Fishman Aura preamp, although I don't have any of the Aura signal on because that goes well with the doggone bridge pickup, and on this one, of course, I got the sound hole pickup, so I do not need that, but I'm using the preamp to goose the signal a little bit and to put a little bit of compressor on there for the kids. And I'm going direct out of that, and also I'm going right into a Fishman Loudbox Performer that has a SM57 in front of it. Can you dig it? I am going through a little bit of amp and a little bit of direct DI as well. So I'm in the DAD-GAD tuning, going out of the Rare Earth mic blend, which is a little bit more on pickup than it is on the mic, but a nice little blend-a-rooney going on there. I'm going into the Spectrum Aura preamp, although I don't have any of the Aura effect on. I just simply have a little bit of compression, and I'm goosing the signal a little bit, going directly out of there. And then I'm going also out of that into the front end of a Loudbox Performer amp by our friends at Fishman, and I have an SM57 in front of that. Can you dig it? Yeah, so it wasn't DAD-GAD tuning. Can you dig it? I'm going to more of an open D situation. That first thing was a tune of mine called DAD-GADery that I snuck at a little Pagey White Summer, which is really Davy Graham's She Walks Through the Bazaar, as well as a little bit of Black Mountain Side, which is also more of a Bert Jansch thing. Jimmy was liberal with his appropriations, shall we say, bless him. Can you dig it? Yes, it would be fun to do a Willie Porter acoustic duo record. We've talked about doing more stuff together at some point. Do-do-do-do. that's actually a tune of mine called The Joy of Axe, although I did put a little Prodigal Son in there at some point. Oh. With that. I originally recorded that on Radio Free Gristle. I recorded it actually on Willie Porter's 12-string guitar. Funny you should mention Willie. I recorded it on his 12-string guitar in open D tuning. I thought I might have been in D flat for that, as I recall. But that was the tuning it was in, as I recall, and I just came up with that little ditty, and that was that. Can you dig it? So that's an open D tuning, which is a good tuning for slide stuff as well, of course. New tune brewing. I'll see if I can remember this damn thing. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? I don't know what I'm going to call that one yet. I kind of like that. Right? There you have it. Interesting quandaries, ladies and gentlemen. I do like my Matrix Infinity bridge pickup that I have on the 0028, and that sounds really good with the Aura. But the sound of this is a little different, and you play differently. Different notes jump when you're using a sound hole pickup versus a bridge pickup. I'm sure you're all familiar with that, or maybe if you're not, these are my experiences. So it's cool to have the kind of very dynamically sensitive, brighter sound of the bridge thing, but when I want to pound on it a little bit more and I don't want it to kind of quack, not that the other one really quacks the way I have it adjusted, but there's that tendency with the bridge piezo pickup to do that if you're not careful. But with the sound hole pickup, you get a little bit more, it kind of behaves more like an electric guitar. So if you're more of an electric guitar player that plays acoustic, that's a good way to go as well. Can you dig it? Does that make sense? Diggity doggone it. Does it make sense? Banana, does it make sense? Banana, does it make sense? Great sugar booger. Bam, 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 bam. Do, 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 do.
Little drawer there for a drum key?
Drum key in the drawer. Oh, yeah. There's a drum key in the garden. I don't know where, it's not in there. Is it? I don't see it. There's no drum key in the garden. But let me do this so you can see. There it is. I kind of messed up a little bit of how things are organized here. Ground's getting a little poopy. But that's the what I'm plugged into. That's the Spectrum Aura preamp, which under normal conditions, if I'm using the bridge pickup, the Matrix Infinity, I'm using the Aura technology to add some air and loveliness. I don't know where that doggone thing is there, Lillian. But in this particular instance, I am using it as a preamp, adding a little bit of compression and pushing the signal a little bit and going direct out of there, as you can see, with that XLR cable. But I'm also going out of it here into the front end of the Fishman Loudbox Performer amp, which I have a microphone in front of an SM57. And you put those two together and it's delish. You put those two together and it's delish. Blues wants to know, Dylan, what happened to your hair? Nothing. He's just, he's had his hair back in a tail. Now he's getting it back out. He's getting it back out again. It's going to be back to its normal sneaker foot. That's correct, Patrick McManus. Can you dig it? Someone was asking what guitar this was. This is my custom 15 guitar, which is basically a Martin HD28V, but that was before they reissued them. So this was a kind of a special order, custom shoppy thing that they made for a while. I played it at Uncle Bob's Music Center, actually, beautiful West Allis, Wisconsin. And I played a bunch of different Martins at the time. I was doing a lot of jingly sessions back then, and I was always borrowing a guitar. My buddy Chris Hansen, I would borrow his, what did he have? He had the D35. He had a D35 that I would borrow when I do sessions. Finally, I just said, I'm sorry, I'm borrowing this guitar all the time. Let me go get one. So I tried a bunch of different Martins, and this was the one I came up with. It sounded damn good, and it still does. So I've had it since 1996, and yeah, I dig it. I do like the Dreadnought. I do like the 00028. I like the 000 as opposed to the OM, because the 000 is that shorter scale. So it's got that smaller body shape, but it just sounds a little bassier. It's got a little bit more ease of play. That's why I dig it. I wanted a smaller bodied orchestra type of device. Greg, you have way too many nicknames. Yeah, I do. Slipperfoot, Drade, Gristleman. Actually, back in the day, horrible nickname I had was Scoob, because I could do a mean Scooby-Doo impersonation. I don't know if I could still do it. Yeah. Oh, Soing Scoob. Like, let's get out of here. Yeah. Oh, no. Daphne. Not bad. If we're honest, it's pretty good. I don't do parties though with that. I'm not going to come to your shindig to do Scoob, but it still happens. Okay. Zoinks! Huh? How about some Nubby the Hoarder Man? Oh, we can do that. We can definitely do that. Let me get tuned up here. Got to be an open G for this one. People may ask, who is Nubby? Who was Nubby? There's a house across the street from our house. We bought this house about, 5-6 years ago now we've been here. And it's an old house. It's 1908. And old quasi-Victorian, I guess, is what it is, right? And across the street to the left, there was this house who was owned by a very older gentleman who I didn't really know all that well, but he had some interesting habits. He would go out and he'd always sweep his sidewalk. He was meticulous about sweeping the sidewalk. And at the end of his day of sweeping, he would put the broom across the entrance to his porch. So I was kind of saying, hey, I'm closed for the day. Just so we're clear, so I'm going to put that broom up there to let you know that Nubby's not home. And apparently his name was Norbert, but they called him Nubby, which is always new to me. Our neighbors were telling this information. And then one day Nubby went, and I think there was an ambulance or something that came, and we're like, oh my God, I hope nothing bad happened to Nubby. Well, Nubby was like 90-some years old, from what I understand. Again, this is all peripheral gristle knowledge. And then, unfortunately, Nubby passed away, and so they started to take stuff out of his house, and by the amount of stuff they took out of the house, it was amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, all I'm going to tell you is that every day more vehicles would arrive, and appliances, furniture, knick-knackery, you name it. It was months. It seemed like it was months. I don't think that's being hyperbolic of them taking stuff out of the house. So I thought to myself, Nubby must have been a hoarder man. And so I came up with this song one day. No disrespect for Nubby, by the way. But I do observe. I'm an observer. All right, here we go. Well, Nubby must have been a hoarder man. They've been taking stuff out day and night ever since he went away. Well, a clown car house it must have been. I got no idea how he fit it all in. Now they're taking it all away. The sidewalk. Well, there's enough for them and enough for you. Come and take this stuff away. Well, a rusty pickup and a U-Haul. They could have brought 10 semis and it wouldn't have been enough to haul that crap away. Well, Nubby had the cleanest sidewalk in town. Now he and his broom are nowhere to be found. He's moved on to higher ground. Nobody had the cleanest sidewalk in town. There you have it. That's actually on the new record, which is coming out. I think they're being shipped as we speak. So if you've signed up for a pre-released signed copy, we're going to have them in time for Toby's coming down this weekend for our usual live stream on Saturday. We are going to sign the multitudes of CDs on Saturday. We were only going to do the first 100, but that quickly went and slid by. So we'll be signing a long-ass time for the first stipend. So we're signing a bunch of CDs. I'm going to send them back to Chris Webb. He should get them, I don't know, probably midweek, and then he will get them off to their various destinations. And then so that CD, which is the Koch Marshall Trio, and From the Upna is the name of the record. That song, Nubby the Hoarder Man, is on there, although I'm electrified for that song. Can you dig it? Here's to the Nubster, am I right? Bless them. They are redoing that house, by the way. They have been working on that house. So they sold it to someone who's refurbishing it. It was on stilts. They completely redid the basement. That took forever, did it not? They've been working on this house. Let's put it this way. At the high school, they put in a whole new pool and aquatic center, and they got that done quicker than this thing going across the street. Although it's going to be beautiful. Now they're putting in the garage, and it's going to be magnificent. A lot of big doings around the Koch home. A lot of activities. So many activities. Can you dig it? All right, I'm going to switch guitars here. I'm going to switch guitars right now. How are we doing out there, everybody? Are you doing all right? I am switching to the Gristlemaster. I am very pleased that the whole first batch was sold out like pretty immediately, which makes me feel proud. And the initial reports from those who have purchased their Gristlmasters is sweet love. They're digging it. They're digging the new Gristlemaster, which I appreciate immensely. And for those who aren't familiar with what we got going on here, this is my new Reverend Gristlemaster signature guitar. I did have another, and still do have another signature model that has the Fishman Fluence gristle tone pickups for Telecaster in it. And this is a new instrument that is Gibson scale, set neck, ebony fingerboard, with the Bigsby on it that works. And it's all right. People get very weird about Bigsby's, and I'd like to say it's enjoyable. It looks great. It sounds great. It works. But it has my new Fishman Fluence gristle tone P90 pickups in this rascal. So just to give you a little download. So this control panel here is the same one that's on the other Gristlemaster, which is the same control panel that comes with the Gristletone Telly set. So this is what's available on this Reverend guitar with my signature pickups. It allows me to go through the two voices right here. So this button allows me to go from the initial setting, and then this one just adds a little bit more meat and a little more heat. And I also have a push-pull pot right here that allows me to get this excellent out-of-phase sound that just has this pickup rolled back a little bit, so it's a little bit more that kind of Peter Greeny P90 thing. It sounds more like this. There's the neck pickup. Buttery and delicious. Bridge. Or just regular middle position. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Second voice. Can you dig it? Yes, I can dig it. And that's important. So the next shipment of Gristle Masters coming in soon, I believe. So it'll be available. Sounds buttery AF. I like that kind of talk, Mikey. Buttery AF. I like it. Matt Weber wants two things. I want a baritone Gristle 90. That would be awesome. And that Venetian gold color and that Venetian gold. Oh, man, that would be nice. I dig it. But you know what? First things first. Let's get these in the hands of the people that want them. And then away we'll go with the various iterations. Various iterations. Maddie says, by the way, it came from Wildwood, set up perfectly and in tune. Also, the pickups were charged and ready to go. Maddie K, that fills me with a sense of mirth and glory. Thank you kindly for sharing that. Will there be Fluence P90s in a humbucker size at some point? Boy, I sure hope so. I should mention that when the Fluence P90 set of mine comes out in hopefully June, it's going to be available with the pickups and then a conventional 2-volume, 2-tone control configuration, not with this situation. Because most people that have P90 guitars, it's going to be the 2-volume, 2-tone. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to happen. Can you dig it? How long will the charge last? Asks Mike. Can the battery be replaced if needed? Well, with these, the way that these work, with the guitar itself, there's a lithium-ion battery in here. For an hour-and-a-half charge, you get 3, and it's, so in the, let's close up on that. You can see that little mini USB. Sorry, there you go. Above the quarter-inch jack, there's a mini USB input, and that allows you to charge the batteries. About an hour-and-a-half charge, you get 300 hours of plugged-in playing time. When you buy the pickups, they'll be available. The pickups themselves will be available, as I said, with the 2-volume controls, the 2-tone controls, and that's a 9-volt battery option. So one 9-volt battery is supposed to last 300 hours, okay, which is what they do, I guess. That's what happens. You can also, for an upcharge, get a lithium-ion battery. Also, another variation from what these pickups are in this guitar versus the ones that Fishman will be selling. It's the same voices, but there'll be a third voice that will come with the conventional Fishman set, but it will not come with the out of phase thing. That's a separate extra thing. It comes with 3 voices, a voice that actually this guitar won't have, but it will not have the out of phase thing. So there's a little extra motivation to get this guitar to have the out of phase thing already on board, and a little extra love for the pickup set that will have this extra voice. And then if you want, you can spend a little extra scalota to have the out of phase function with the standalone set. Decisions had to be made and all this stuff to keep prices reasonable. And because, not everyone's going to like that out of phase thing. I certainly love it. But would it deter people from buying a set of P90s if they were markedly more expensive than the other Fluence pickups to have that feature on it? This is something that we had to cipher. So there you have it. Phase me, bro. That's what I like, Eddie. I like that kind of talk. Patrick Romanis, thank you for chiming in. Yeah, I don't work on my own guitars. If come to it, I can set up the intonation and do a neck adjustment if pressed. But I would much rather not do that. So there you have it. Greetings from Serbia. Greetings to you, Mario. Darth Slater, what's going down? Oh, I like that. Da-da-do-da-do-da. Dylan, what should we do? Should we do a little, we can do anything we want. man, man, Can you dig it, folks? Can you feel it down to your plums? Says Rob McCready. I feel it right down to my plums. Consider it done. Shannon, thank you very much. Just wanted to say to let you know that there's a lot of us from North Carolina that watch it. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope to get there at some point with the ensemble. Sooner than later, of course. Love Dylan's drumming and hi-hat. It's special. It is a special hi-hat. It's a signature hi-hat. It's called the Bludgeoner. The Bludgeoner's signature hi-hat from Dylan James. It's got a piece out of it like someone's tooth has been removed from a fierce battle waged in an alley of wrongdoing. Fist battle waged in an alley of wrongdoing. 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 Wrongdoing, ladies and gentlemen. Just installed my first Fishman in my PRS, and is it enjoyable? I hope so. I hope so. Carlos says, I'm learning a lot of stuff while having great fun. Can you dig it? Well, thank you. Thanks, both of you, for this and your music. As a guitarist, Greg, you keep renovating my enthusiasm for the instrument. That's a great spontaneous gift you are giving many of us. Oh, well, thank you very much. It's very, very nice. We appreciate that. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We have been doing this since the beginning of March 2020 when, no, actually, toward the end of March, right? I guess it was towards the end of March. I think it was the last week in March is when we started. And then we've been doing it pretty much, with the exception of here and there, we've been doing it every week since, twice a week, Mondays and Fridays for Fishman, Tuesdays and Thursdays for Wildwood, and that's at 3 p.m. Central. And then we've been doing, every other week, we've been doing Saturdays with Toby comes down, and we've been playing in the room here. And then also we've been doing a thing on together.co website that's assembling some really cool content, I might add. Nashville misses the Gristle. Well, we miss it too. We miss old Nashville. The time has come. Time is an illusion, says Lawton Childs. I see you, Lawton. It is an illusion. Time is not real. Time is free. Any live dates coming out, says Rob McCready. We're working on it. We're working on it. There are some things a-brewing. At first, it didn't look like anything was going to happen until like September, but Toby is coming this weekend, Michael Burrell. You are correct. Toby is coming down to rock with us like warriors of old. Adam Baum, replying to George Week, says, Koch will soon rule the Pacific Rim. I didn't know I have any idea that we were headed in that direction. But you know what? As we've discussed in a preview, well, that's an interesting word. In a previous moment, that time is relative or non-existent. So at some point, like maybe tomorrow, we're going to dominate the Pacific Rim with our great power of rock. Do you hate bass players? No, I like bass players. But Toby is such a great bass player. I mean, he's a keyboard playing fiend, but his bass lines are badass. And when he hooks up with young Dylan James back there grooving and approving, there's a rapport with the three of us that is unique. So when people go, oh, it'd be great to have a bass player in the mix, that bass player would have to subscribe to our kind of madness. Not that it couldn't be done, and not that I don't know many great bass players. But there's a unique chemistry with the three of us. Would not you say, Dylan James?
Absolutely.
He says absolutely. Can you dig it? What about viola players? Well, by all means. We'll give Toby a bass solo this weekend. Well, there's plenty of low end. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's not like the low end is suffering. Especially if you see us live, you will shat yourself. Whoa! But I think that's accurate. One of the things that I have not missed during COVID is when we do gigs, which I love doing, but a lot of people will come out and if they see us in a smaller place, they're like, "Oh my God, you guys are so loud." It's like, it's loud, and it's because when you have an organ that is cranked, it's a full frequency experience. In order for that bass to be heard, it's got to be cranking. And Dylan's no stranger to unleashing when it needs. There's dynamics, but when we're full on, it's loud as shit. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm using inappropriate language. So I would just say, good idea to bring earplugs if coming to see the KMT, because you're going to feel it down to your plums, and you might become incontinent. That's a service we provide, okay? So maybe you've had a lot of cheese in the previous week. Maybe you've not had enough bran. Come and see the KMT, and we're going to flush that right on out to the sea with you, is what we're going to say to the Klingons you may be experiencing. Well, that's probably more visual than you needed, but again, these are the things we provide. Did the Doors need a bass player? My sentiments exactly, Sassy Cat. They did need perhaps a sobriety counselor on staff, I think. Probably would have been a good idea for old Jim Morrison to have someone around just kind of going, maybe mixing all that stuff right up before you go on stage. Not a good idea, especially when he was dropping trowel. Remember that one? He was down in Miami and he had a goat in his hand and dropped trowel. It was not good. I mean, there's a lot wrong with that. I'm usually not a judger, but that's kind of a situation when you bring farm animals and disrobing into the picture, unless you're doing some kind of a nature film, I don't want to know about it. Okay.
To each their own.
To each their own. Speaks Dylan. I like it. All right, fair enough. Yes, they did indeed. All right, folks, let's do one more song, Dylan, and then we'll open it up for questions. Shreddy doogie doogie doo. Is that how it goes? No. Sorry. Dylan's doing a good job back there. A little bit of that Achilles' Last Stand of the Zeppelin. Oh, there. Sorry. Sometimes the brain doesn't work. It happens. Anyways, let's thank Dylan back there for rocking with us today. Maybe one of these days we'll get the Achilles' Last Stand together with Toby And he can play his wunderkind bass with his left hand. It was an April morning when they told us we should go. That's a great tune, though. Questions out there in movie land. Dylan is a badass, isn't he? He's a rascal and a badass. That's how we call him around here. Hey, Dylan, you're a badass. Thanks, Dad. That's dinner table talk. Son, you're a badass. Thanks, Dad. Now clean your room. Whoa. What? That's inappropriate. Paul says, Dylan, go make dinner. Not a bad idea, actually. We get done with this live stream at 5 o'clock. I got to conjure up some vittles for the gang. Conjure up some vittles. My wife is working at the Brewer game tonight. She's a volunteer for the Tosa East Red Raider Band Fund. So she's over there working at one of those doggone vending booths, slinging beer and sausage, slinging brats, slinging beer. Ooh. So she asked me to do it. I said, "There's no way in hell that's going to happen." I volunteer in other ways. I volunteer in the arts of rock. Okay, I give myself to the arts of rock. I'm giving myself to the arts of roll. Well, sorry, I lost control there for a minute. I received my gristle beanie today in this particular shade, sir. The gristle factor is pretty intense when worn. Thank you, Ryan. I'm glad you're enjoying that glorious cranial raiment. You're going to find yourself walking tall, feeling proud. When you go into the grocery store, people are doing a double take going, "You're a rascal." Oh, listen, my phone's going off. I swear that's smoke on the water. Right? Am I right? They're trying to do smoke on the water, but they didn't. They changed it just a little bit, ski, so that they wouldn't get in trouble from Richie Blackmore. He might cast a spell on them and make their souls dwindle like fruit on the vine. Wow, that's some imagery. Can you dig it? Will you all dig it? Kudos from Sardinia. Real greetings to you, Andrea. Sean Hall says, we need more Greg Koch outtakes. Well, there's stuff coming. Believe you me. Gristle Bludgeon. I like that, Mr. Jones. I like it. I like it all. Yeah, you're getting them right now. That was the outtake. The outtakes are happening as we speak. So, folks, don't forget. I talked to Toby today, and he's like, God, I don't know why I posted that on Facebook. You're thinking, and people take things in a different way. But the KMT is live. We will do our best to conquer the one gristle mind at a time. The K Saturday at 5 p.m. Write-ups here or there. Various different publicly old. We did it ourselves this time. Go better than when we do a record label, because record labels are like, hey, let's just throw poop against the wall and see what sticks and not do anything. Whereas when I'm doing it on myself, I'll do all the different stuff and things just seem to go. But what are you going to do? What, folks? I'm not going to complain about it. Complain. But I'm not going to Dred wine. No one wants to hear Dred wine. Product that might be available. Crushing Grapes. But it's not a huge operation. We're due to be shipped this month. Hey, Godzilla, I'm using peanut out of phasey thing. So if I wanted to do pinions, I wanted to have a different sound, not the noise, and then have that additional cool out of pickup sound wicked. Dog-eared version would be very cool looking. That's an excellent question. I find that play along with, I'm less glitchy when I do the loops. Sound quality is markedly superior stuff on top of it. You can do a pretty good start adding stipper button at the right time. And then double the gristle will be up. I'm all saying this because forget playing Let's Talk. That is just so not. I will see you guys tomorrow. Activities, be back again on Thursday, and then we'll be back here 4 p.m. Central for our. Then we're doing a full band live stream Saturday, 5 p.m. Central, with Toby in tow, Koch Marshall Trio, celebrating the unsheathing, if you will, of our new CD from the Upna. which is our little way. It's really Dylan's way of saying up north. Let's go to the Upna. So there you have it. All right. Your best male cat scream will terrify Barry Cole. There's going to be some chicken on the grill. Can you dig it? All right, folks. We'll see you cats in the flippity flop. Adios.